It's class day. No one's here yet. I'm talking to the internet at large. It's 10:01. We'll wait until somebody's here to get started. I'm not going to start without people here. But for those watching after the fact, you will need 2 medium weight hand weights. Again, all of this can be done body weight. You don't have to use weights, but if you've been doing these for a while, I suspect the people who are doing these have been doing these for a while. I would recommend having 2 medium weight hand weights on hand. And then if you have a block or book, something that's pretty thick and sturdy, a step, something of that nature, then that will be handy to have as well. We're going to do some single leg glute bridges with it and some glute bridges. So have those on hand, and that should be all you need. Make sure you have water, make sure you have a mat. We're doing some work down on the floor as always. And as you might be able to tell, we have a new webcam this week. So testing this out, seeing if it's any good, if it makes any difference in the quality. Leave feedback if you notice a difference in a positive way. We shall see. This is my second try at a webcam that will actually adjust to the lighting and all that. So we'll figure it out. Let's get warmed up. We've got our Mozart in the background as usual. I think that should be okay for view of everything. We can adjust as needed. I'm going to turn up the Mozart a little bit. And then we're going to start with our usual arm circles back, 10 back, and 10 forward. We're still on supersets, FYI. I've been thinking about this, because we could move into hypertrophy, which is basically the practice of building muscle mass, but that requires heavy weights. And I know that not everybody, actually most everybody, does not have heavy weights at home. So I think what we'll probably end up doing is just circling through what we've been doing, so like the stabilization and then the supersets and then circuits, and doing just, a cycle of that to keep things interesting and keep changing it up. Okay, wide leg stance, you know the drill. Coming down to the floor. If you cannot touch the floor, have a book or a block or something on hand that will create a buffer that you can lean on between you and the floor. And then we are rotating up towards the ceiling. Oh my goodness. I am still sore from my workout on Monday. And this is making me feel things. We're doing 5 on each side. Not like super sore, just, realizing muscles that worked that I didn't realize were going to be sore. And when you get to 5 on each side, the shirt's snugling up. Keep that wide leg stance. And then we're going to do our side lunges, or side stretches. So I am one of the places that are sore, I'm very sore on my inner thighs right now. So this is a good one for your adductors, adductors on the insides of the legs. Sitting back and down over the heel, stretching into that straight leg. And again, you're only coming down as low as feels comfortable for you. So every body is different. We're doing 5 on each side. Try to get a little bit lower with each stretch as things start to loosen up. And when you get to 5 on each side, come back to a narrow position in the legs. Whoa, yeah. Okay. Let's go for some, let's do hamstrings before we do our leg swings. So one leg crossing over the other, reaching down towards the toes. You do not have to touch the toes. I know I say that every time, but you do not have to touch the toes. You do not have to touch the floor. You're just stretching down in that direction until you feel a stretch along the back of the back leg. Definitely hamstring. You might feel a stretch in your calf as well. All valid. And then switching to the other side. So whichever leg you just did, other leg is crossing over, and we're coming down to the toes. Oh, I just love Mozart so much. Okay, come on up to standing, and we'll do our leg swings, 10 on each side. Hold on to something if you need to for balance. Totally fine. As always, do what feels right for you. And when you get to 10 on one side, please do 10 on the other. La 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 la. These don't need to be graceful. They are certainly not graceful. Okay. Warm-up's done. Let's do some core. Today, we have a plank with some knee tucks, and we have some bicycles. Let's try it. So for the plank knee tucks, it's kind of like a slow motion mountain climber. So you're going to be in a high plank position. Now keep in mind, you can always just hold your plank. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're still just comfortable in a plank position, just do that. You don't have to add motion to it. You can do a regular plank on your knees, yeah, or up on the toes, and hold that. If you are adding the knee tuck, your hands are right under your shoulders. Sorry, itchy nose. Hands are right under the shoulders. You're up on your toes, and then the knees are tucking forward towards the chest, or in towards the belly button, whatever you want to think about it. And then just keeping the head up in line with the spine so that you're not dropping down to look at like where your knees are going, which I see happening a lot, but try to keep your neck lined up. And we are going to superset with some bicycle crunches. Yay. So you're going to be over on your back, hands behind the head to support it. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. You realize that I'm on the floor now and I haven't had to adjust the camera to adjust the light. And I know it's still not perfect, but it's so much better than it was. Anyway, so knees up in tabletop, head off the ground, and then opposite elbow to opposite knee as the other leg extends. Nice and slow and controlled. Now, if you don't like the rotation in the upper body, you can just keep the legs involved without moving the upper body. Or if you don't like the legs, but you want the upper body, keep the legs still, and then just do opposite elbow to opposite knee with the knees stationary. You have so many options, honestly. Always modifications, always. All right, we're gonna do 30 seconds of each. As per usual, I will time on my stopwatch so you don't have to. It's the least I can do since I don't count any reps at any other point. Let me get my little thingy going here so I can keep an eye on the time, because otherwise I lose track. Okay. Round 1, 30 seconds per exercise, no break in between, and then we take a break. Get ready for that plank in 3, 2, 1, and go. And make sure you're breathing. Try not to stop breathing, please. Ten more seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and then flipping over for those bicycles. And right into it. Timer's already going. Ten more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and first break. All right, I'm taking 30-second rests. Ooh, crack in the back between each set, between each superset. But you can take longer or shorter, as always. Breaks are not set in stone, and they should never be. It's one thing when you're getting certified as a trainer, they are very specific about the rest times for each phase between sets. And there is, of course, validity and science behind that, but they give no room for anything else, which I think is ridiculous. What if you need longer? Not everybody's the same. Anyway, okay, let's go into round 2 when you're ready in 3, 2, 1. Up we go. Ten more seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and flipping on over for our bicycles. Timer's on. Ten more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and break. 30 seconds to rest. And then we go into our last round. And then we're going to stay down on the mat for our glute bridge combo to get things kicked off. Ten more seconds of rest if you're on the 30-second rest track with me. If not, take your time. Excuse me, I've got like hiccup burps. TMI, sorry, TMI. Okay, last round when you're ready. In 3, 2, 1, and up we go. Ten more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and over. Oops, over we go. Bicycles, timer's on. Three, 2, 1, and done. Beauteous. Beauteous. All right, grab water if you need it. We're staying down here. Now, this is where if you have a block or a book, you're going to be using it. I have a yoga block. If you have something like a dictionary or a sturdy step or something, it's just make sure that it's stable, please. You don't want it like sliding out from under your feet. We're going to do a glute bridge and a single leg glute bridge superset. So for the glute bridge, I'm going to have my feet on either end of the block. If you're not using a block, your feet will just be flat on the floor, the heels in pretty close to the glutes, and you're pressing up through your heels. So if you are using block, make sure your heels are on the block, and then you're lifting the hips up so that they become level with the knees, squeezing the heck out of your butt as you lift. Palms can be flat on the floor. So we're going to do 12 of those, and then we're going to do 10 single leg glute bridges on each side. So when you're done with your 12 regular glute bridges, one leg goes in the air, and then you're just pressing up with a single leg for 10, and then single leg for 10. Okay? Oh, getting so many spam calls today. Sorry for the interruption. There we go. It's the second one in like 10 minutes. All right, are we ready for round one? If you're ready for round one, let's do it. Counting for yourselves, as I say, because I cannot be relied upon to count correctly. 12 regular glute bridges and then 10 single leg glute bridges on each side to keep it nice and even. When you're ready, let's go. Now when you get to 12, switching to single leg. Don't worry about your range of motion on the single leg glute bridges. It is going to be less than your range of motion on the regular glute bridges. So don't feel like it's going to feel like you're not getting as high up as you are, and that's okay. Okay. When you get to the end of your set, take a break. I'm sticking to 30 seconds for breaks on these. Might be longer, might be shorter, depending on what exercises we're doing. Ooh, man, my inner thighs are hurting. Gotta love those lateral lunges. We don't have any of those today. I programmed it on purpose so that we wouldn't, because I am still in pain. Okay, a couple more seconds to rest, and then let's get into round two. And when you're ready, let's do it. And when you get to the end of your set, take another break. You're almost there. One more set, and then we're going into a squat combo, which will be just loads of fun. Like all the fun you could possibly want from squats. All of it. All right, if you're on the 30-second rest timeline with me, we have 10 more seconds of rest, and then we're heading into our last superset of bridges. Get in position. And when you're ready, go. And when you get to your last rep on the side that you're finishing on, gosh darn it, you're done with glute bridges. Not done. I'm going to open my window. I'm warm. Okay, so sip of water and then our squat combo. We're starting with a kneel to stand, like I call them kneeling up downs, which I know is an awkward name, but what they're actually called is surrenders, and I don't like that name at all. So I don't use it. So kneeling up down it is. Kneel to stand. And we're going to superset with a regular squat. So option to have weight on this one or not. We're doing 8 on each side for your kneel to stand and then 8 squats. So I'm only going to use one weight. Well, I'm going to use 2 weights. 2 weights for both. You know what? Let's do it. You don't have to use weight. You can use one weight held here for both the kneel to stand and the squat, or you can do 2 weights held here for both the kneel to stand and squat, or you can do body weight. Let me just show you what we're doing real quick. So the kneel to stand we've done before, make sure you have padding under your knees. So if you want to roll your mat back an extra roll, you might want to do that, because coming down to the knees, up to the feet, leave a little bit of bend in the knees. If your quads really need a break, you can stand all the way up, that's fine. But otherwise, a little bit of bend stays in the knees. Option to either do all one side, so left leg goes down first and comes up first, down first, up first, or you can alternate right leg down to left leg. Either way, we're doing 8 on each side. So pick the one that works for you and then count accordingly. Just make sure that they're even, please. You don't want one side of your body to be way stronger than the other. And then for our squats, if you're using weights or a weight, it's up under the chin, and we're just squatting down and up. That's it. Weight is coming back over the heels. Toes as close to straight ahead as you can get. If it's really uncomfortable on your knees to keep your toes straight ahead, a little bit of turnout is fine. And then just trying to keep the chest nice and open as you come down. And depth is not a factor at all. So if you squat an inch, if you squat with your butt to the ground, find any range that's good for you. I have like no requirements for how deep you should be getting. That's all up to your body. Okay, 8 and 8, easy to remember. Let's go for round 1. Counting for yourselves at home. I thought about doing 10 of these and I was like, they take so darn long. We're not doing 10, unless you want to. But they just take ages. And then when you get to your 8 on each side, squats. And when you get to your 8 squats, take a break. Good. Good. Rest time. I'm gonna do like 40 seconds on these just because it's a lot of work for the legs. Those kneel to stand, they're not easy. They're not easy. And remember, if your quads are killing you, stand all the way up. Don't leave a bend in your legs. It is an option. It's a very valid option. I've got 2 more rounds. You can also change it up on each round and just adjust to what feels right for your body during that round. They don't all have to be the same. Okay. Round 2, if you're ready. I'm trying not to whistle, I promise. I know it's kind of shrill and not the sound that you want to hear coming through your speakers. Almost there, sort of. When you get to 8 on each side, switching over to those squats. And then take a break. My shoulders are feeling the work on that too, just from holding the weights. One more set. One more. One more. Uno más. About halfway through our rest break. 15 more seconds if you're timing along with me. I know you can assume that any comment I make about a rest break only applies to me. I feel like I keep disclaiming, like, but only if you're doing the same rest. You can assume. I'm referencing the timer. It's just for my own reference. Okay. Last set, whenever you're ready. Going into our last 16 technically, 8 on each side. And when you get to your last rep, coming up for those squats. Ooh, the sweat is real. And when you get to 8, take a break. Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna take a full minute or 2 before the last set. The last leg superset. I'm an articulate person. Literally every day but Wednesday. I swear, as soon as I'm on camera, all bets are off. Okay. We're finishing up our legs with some lunges and some deadlifts. So we're going to do, again, same number for each of these, 10 and 10. Makes it a little easier to count. So we're doing 10 lunges on each side and then 10 deadlifts. So for a lunge, we're going for a lunge to balance. So stepping back into your lunge, up into a balance. Straight back into your lunge, up into a balance. Now, if the balancing is not comfortable, don't do it. Set your foot down. It's fine. I can't see you. Even if I could, I'd be like, set your foot down. So if it's not comfortable, don't do it. We're going to do all on one side and then all on the other. So 10 one side, 10 the other side. The only things to really be aware of when you're lunging, pay attention to your knees. Make sure they're not feeling discomfort. You can adjust your leg position accordingly. So again, like same with the squat, maybe this is your lunge. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's as far as you go, and that's fine. That's your lunge. Maybe you're down here, also fine. Just don't let your knee touch the ground. Just make sure that your upper body is staying as balanced as possible over both legs so that you're not overweighting your back leg or tipping forward over the front and throwing your core off. So try to stay fairly centered over both legs. And then our deadlift, which we have done before, we're doing that, close the door behind you with your butt movement. So thinking first about having the core engaged, so that little tuck under with the pelvis so that the lower back isn't like sticking out. And then pressing back through the hips. See, my back is staying flat, back is staying flat, back is staying flat. This is as low as we go. You don't want your shoulders below your hips. So just about slightly below the knee. For me, I'm 5'4", so that's about my depth. If you have longer arms, longer legs, it's going to be a little bit different. So keeping back flat. And then a little bit of bend in the knee just so that they're staying in line over the ankles, but most of the flexion is happening through your hipperoonies. You should feel a nice pull on the hamstrings and then engage the glutes as you come up so that your lower back is not taking any strain. I'm using weights for both of these, as always. Again, body weight is okay, one weight is okay, two weights are okay, whatever you want to do. If you're using one weight, hold it under the chin for the lunges, and then either end in both hands for the deadlifts. All right, that's been a 3-minute break because I started yammering on. So let's go. Let's do it. Let's start with our first round of lunges. 10 on each side. Either leg can start. Doesn't matter. We're keeping it even. You can hear my knee popping if you listen closely. It doesn't hurt. It just does that. Don't worry. All right, when you get to 10 on one side, switching to 10 on the other. Oh, right one is chiming in now too. And when you get to 10 on the other side, going into our deadlifts. Keep those shoulder blades engaged if you can, so that the shoulders don't slump forward and round the upper back. You don't want a round back on these. We're doing 10. And when you get to 10, take a break and relax. I'm going to increase my weight on the deadlifts. You do not have to. It is only because I have the equipment that I'm taking advantage of it. Again, use whatever you have on hand. what I'm doing is not what everybody should be doing. All right, I'm taking 30 seconds between these. So I have a couple more seconds of rest left, and then I'm heading into that second round of lunges. For the lunges, I would recommend starting, like alternating which side you start on for each round, because the leg that goes second in the set is going to feel it more, just because it's already been doing some work with the whole stepping back on the first round. So I would change it up, or I would recommend changing it up to keep it nice and even. I'm a huge fan of asymmetry, but when it comes to working out, it's got to be symmetrical. When you get to 10 on one side, switch to the other. When you get to 10 on the other side, go into your deadlifts. All right, deadlift time. Oh, that feels better. Ten. Remember. And when you get to 10, take a break. Okay, one more set of those. Take a drink of water, keep yourselves hydrated. And then we're going into our push-ups and shoulders and biceps. Double shoulders, so we got fronts and the backs. Okay, one more round. What is this telling me? Okay. My Fitbit buzzes for I don't know how many different reasons, and I'm sure that there is a setting that I can choose to turn that off, but I haven't bothered. And honestly, it's kind of annoying. It's like, what are you telling me now? What am I supposed to be doing? Quote unquote, supposed to be doing. Don't live by your Fitbit. Don't live by the circles on your Apple Watch or smartwatch, whatever you have, if you have one. Things still count if it's not tracked. I always forget, there's a word for people who are like super obsessed with data. Like workouts don't count unless you track them. And like your day is not complete unless you got 10,000 steps. Or like your meals aren't good unless you're putting them in MyFitnessPal. And I can't remember there's a word. But don't do that. That is obsessive and unhealthy. Everything you do is okay. Even if it's not what your watch is telling you to do. Okay, when you get to 10 on each side, going into our last round of deadlifts. And when you get to 10, take a break. All right. Legs are done. Whew. Take a breather. Okay. Now, I know I said you needed medium weights only for this workout, but if you have lighter weights, I would maybe grab those because we're going to do push-ups, which, Lord help me, if you haven't listened to my push-up spiel enough by now, I don't know what I've been doing, but we're doing push-ups. To start, on the counter, on the wall, on your knees, on your toes, on the edge of a couch, on the edge of a table, whatever surface is stable. Unintentional rhyme there, but you get my point. Keeping the core engaged, keeping the glutes engaged. Arms at 45, not at 90. You know it, you know the drill. But anyway, my point is that our superset is going to be an overhead lateral raise. So I'm using 5-pound kettlebells for this instead of my 10-pound dumbbells. So we're drawing those big circles around, hands facing forward, by the way, or palms facing forward. And we're doing that for 10 after we do 12 push-ups. So I think the medium weight that you have, depending on how heavy it is, might be too heavy. So grab some food cans, grab something a little bit lighter. I would say 5 pounds or less for sure for the overhead laterals. Actually, bring these closer. But yeah, that's what we're doing. 12 push-ups, 10 overhead laterals. Push-ups can be at any level that you choose. I'm going to do mine on my toes. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's do it. Let's get into it. In like 1 more second. Okay. Here we go. When you're ready, psych yourself up. Directly into those overhead laterals. I'm going to take an angle here so I don't hit my bookshelf. Keep the core engaged, glutes engaged. That should just be the default. Try not to hike the shoulders up around the ears. And when you get to 10, take a break. Now, if you can't do 10, that's okay. You can do 8. I wouldn't go lower than 6, but aim for like 6 to 10. So if you don't have weights that are light enough to allow you to do 10, just drop the reps a little bit. And that's perfectly good solution. Timing my rest break. I'm going to take 45 seconds because push-ups are hard for me. So I need longer between my push-up sets, especially with the superset that hits the shoulders. They become much more difficult. So again, if you take a shorter rest break, beautiful, do it. If you want to take as long as I do or longer, beautiful, do it. Also, thinking of ideas, I've been really bad at keeping up on my Instagram, as always. But ideas for workouts that I was thinking for Instagram and for here, I was thinking about doing a seated cardio, like a fully seated cardio, because I know that I have a lot of low impact options, but I don't have any options that address different mobilities or different abilities. And I've been thinking that doing some seated cardio videos would be valuable. So give me your feedback. Let me know what you want to see. Yeah, just some thoughts. Okay, I'm stalling. I am stalling Okay, round 2. Here we go. Oh yeah. Those are getting harder. Might just do 8 of these on this set. Yeah, I'm gonna do 8. I can feel my form slipping. If you ever feel your form starting to be compromised, drop your reps, drop your weight, whatever you need to do to get it back to good. Form is important in the sense that like not everybody can have the same form doing something because again, physical differences, different mobilities, different abilities, differently abled, but there are certain things that are kind of standard regardless. Like if you feel things starting to kick in that shouldn't, like if you're doing these overhead lateral raises and your shoulders are doing this and you can't get it up, that's not something that should be happening regardless of the form that you're using. So lighten up the weight, lighten up the load, or drop the reps, either one. I could feel my neck starting to tense, so we're gonna keep it to 8 reps for me. Okay, going into our last round, and then we have some reverse flies to get the backs of our shoulders and those nice posture muscles between the shoulder blades, and then we're gonna do some bicep curls as well. All right, last round of push-ups. Here we go. I need a hype person. Someone who needs to hype me up for these. I don't mind them, I'm just not very strong at them. Okay, last round of shoulders. Keep a little bend in the elbows. Oh my goodness. That's one. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Break. Break. Take a break. So, last superset. We're doing okay on time. We're doing great on time. We can definitely finish this in 10 minutes. So, last superset, we're doing a reverse fly or a rear deltoid fly. And we're supersetting with a bicep curl. So I would recommend, you might want your lighter weights for the reverse fly. It's totally up to you. But for the bicep curl, you will want your heavier weights, your medium weight weights. So going for 10 of each. For the reverse flies, we've got that same flat back hip hinge forward that we had for our deadlifts. So keeping the core engaged, keeping your glutes as engaged as they can be while they're lengthened like this. Spine nice and flat. And then from this position, arms are starting palms facing each other with the weights. And then you're just flying out like a bird in the sky, but keep a little bend in the elbows. These are not straight arm. A little bend in the elbows. You can kind of see where my arms are going, like a wonky T position. And then bicep curls. Bicep curls. There's nothing fancy about them. They're just bicep curls. All right, let's do it. Enough chatting. My shoulders are feeling that last one. Okay. 10 and 10. When you're ready, let's go. All right. And then 10 bicep curls. Core engaged, glutes engaged. And when you get to 10, take yourself a break. Water just tastes like the sweetest thing in the world sometimes. Okay. 2 more sets of that, and then you're done. That's it. A little bit more rest time that I'm going to take before the next set. Okay. Second round. When you are ready. And when you get to your 10, bicep curls. And when you get to your 10 here, take a break. Boom. Last break before the final set. And then you are free, my darlings, to go off into your day, however you see fit. Looks like the sun's coming out here. It's been foggy since I got up at 5:45 this morning, so I'm excited. I don't know if this happens to anybody else. I don't think I have seasonal affective disorder, but does anybody else, when it's gray or cloudy or foggy out, any kind of gloom, just feel like so much more tired than normal? Like it's really hard to get energized. I'm feeling better now that I'm working out, but it's like my head was so heavy this morning. I just blamed it on the grayness, the fog. Okay, last round. Here we go. And when you get to 10, switching over to those bicep curls. Don't forget to breathe. And when you get to 10 of your curls, you are done. Finito. Okay. I think this new webcam is a massive improvement. I can already tell that the quality is better, so I think we're going to keep it. Next week, 10 a.m., 10:05 a.m. probably, because I'll have that client again. Same thing. And then no cardio this weekend, but cardio the following, potentially chair cardio. We'll see. That's it. Please subscribe, get your friends and family involved. And make sure you're staying hydrated. Eat something after this, please. Nourish your muscles. You just worked hard. And that's it. I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Bye.